I mean, this specific series, there's, I mean, not much to talk about. It's defending world champs against the challengers team. So, expected result. But as for just challengers as a whole, I think what Chris said kind of nail on the head. The one thing I do wish that we get to see or got to see was Omit in a different pool. Granted, they probably should have beat FaZe today, and they didn't. But I think that getting the FaZe pool was a pretty tough situation for the best challengers team. I mean, I would be absolutely shocked if Craze and Mamba aren't in the league next season. Even based on today, Craze is fucking insane. But yeah, I mean, we asked for it to have more challenger recognition and more opportunities for them to play. And it's an expected result just because it's a one-off tournament. They don't really get the caliber of practice that obviously the pro teams do. So an upset is rare if at all happening. And again, it probably should have happened with FaZe, but I mean, expected.
I think the difference between the challenger teams and the pro teams is like the lack of teamwork is just very apparent. And then on top of that, I was talking to one of my friends while doing the watch party earlier, and I said I feel like with challengers, there's always like one burger on the team because like with the way the top of the challengers pyramid works is like you have a lot of up and coming players, or then you have like a pro that was like previously in the league that might not have been playing the best, and it's pretty apparent a lot of the time when you see them play the pro teams again in styled formats like this that they're just not like pro league ready. So even if like you have like a couple people step up or make good plays, there's like somebody on the challengers team is always dropping a stinker, bro. So they're like almost playing 3v4 against some of these better teams in the league.
Yeah, but let's go to you, Dylan. I wanted to talk to you about this G2 Cloud9 series. Obviously, G2 came into it. I know there's a lot of talk in the watch party about maybe whether or not this team should have made a change or not going into EWC. Ben, I kind of want to bring you into that as well because I know you were talking about that. But Cloud9, I mean, they come out and they 3-0 G2. And they make it look easy. For those of you that don't know, G2 is basically the Minnesota Rocker, right? That's the Minnesota Rocker. It's Kenny, Estriel, Geo, and Nero. They did not change their team. Coach is obviously Looney. Who's on stage now. They do got coaches on stage now, which is I don't know how you guys feel about that. Me personally, I feel like the skill gap kind of goes away with the communication if you have coaches on stage, but apparently coaches aren't really talking too much, so I'm not really sure how that dynamic is working. But Dylan, what did you think of Group A? And obviously G2, they fall short 3-0 here to Cloud9. I mean, what you think, Dill?
No, I was really excited for this match because it was a new look Cloud9. I feel like with Gwyn, at least versus Rocker, they looked reinvigorated. They looked they were flowing on the map, and they were absolutely just shooting. Everyone was frying versus Rocker, and I thought they were going to be able to translate it to the match versus Optic, and they kind of just got slammed. I don't really know what was going on with Rocker. They just didn't even look like they were really awake today, and it was weird. So I can't really properly rate how good Cloud9 is because they ran Rocker, but they got slammed versus Optic. So we're gonna just have to see if they can make it out of groups tomorrow, which I assume they're probably gonna play Rocker again. So we'll see if either of these Rocker or Cloud9 teams can make a deep run. But after watching today, it's gonna be tough for them to do it.
So you have G2 taking down 5 Fears tomorrow and just taking care of business.
Yeah, if G2 doesn't take down 5 Fears, that's gonna be a really bad. That's gonna be really bad and embarrassing. But
yeah,
hopefully they can make that happen and then get the rematch versus Rocker and be a little bit more awake for that match. And it's not another belt to ass series.
Right. Let's go to you, Ben J. I mean, Ben, I know you really wanted this team to change going into the event. And, I mean, today they really didn't look too good. They struggled against Cloud9. Obviously, Cloud9 has a new look to their roster, bringing in Gwyn to join Kremp, Dante, and Spart with Lamar Accuracy behind them as the coach. What did you think, Ben J? Like, what did you think of the series? What did you think of the group overall? Where's your head at here?
I think on this group overall, I think Optic took care of business today. They did what they needed to do against the teams. It would have been nice if they'd won Control against 5 Fears 3-0 because then my power play would have hit, but it is what it is.
It's tough.
And then, because the other 3 legs hit. But on the other side, I think Rocker, last time we saw them, they played that Toronto Ultra tournament before Champs, and they like forfeited midway through. And I thought that was a little bit suspicious at the time. I was like, well, I thought then they're going to make a change, right? And them sticking and today just seemed like they were not remotely on the same page. Past times, the one thing I'll give this Rocker team credit is they kind of were always pretty gritty in this series. I think today they just didn't. I just think they're just a dead team. So I think they'll take care of 5 Fears just because, as much as I like, and want to tip the guys on that team for making it this far, they just don't have enough firepower on their squad, I think, to get past, and get the pop off on SGO, Geo, Nero kind of trio, but I think C9 will just beat them again.
Yeah, I mean, looking out overall at the group, does anybody here have 5 fears? Maybe getting an upset tomorrow against G2 and maybe making a run here, or not really? Not really. So
I'm
much?
not so. I don't think so. But at the same time, 5 years did beat Rocker, I think, in that tournament before Rocker forfeited. But they could have been having issues. I don't really know what they did to forfeit and basically pull out of the tournament. But I'm pretty sure they played each other in it, and 5 years won. So I mean, there's a chance they might go in there with some confidence and maybe.
Are you
start off.
fucking kidding me, bro?
But, yeah, I don't know if they're gonna be able to do it on land.
They don't have consistency. It's the one
Fuck,
team. I
dude.
know it's
With
kind of-
who? 5 years?
Kind of fucking the
with
big
Emily,
guns.
Exceed.
Exceed did play well today, though. He was
He
shooting.
did play good.
To
be fair.
I don't know. I don't know if we've
Super
seen
giving
Exceed
the fuck
anytime
up.
he's been in the league running AR, and he was running an AR, and at least in the respawns against Optic, I mean, he was shooting, he was trying his best, but they just couldn't close out any of the maps.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Optic already advances. I mean, I'll be honest, they probably looked like the best team to me today. Again, it's giving me like a champs vibe. Like they looked pretty comfortable today, and I mean a quick 3-0 in 2 series, and they already advanced to Saturday. Where everyone else, it was kind of like close matches. Some upsets, almost a big upset with FaZe. We'll get there with FaZe in a moment, but. Obviously, Thieves falling to Vancouver. There's just been so much that happened today. Again, like Optic Texas just looked like the team to win again. Like at least from my perspective. Would you guys agree with that? That Optic looked the best today, or am I glazing?
Nah, they're
Nah.
shit.
Yeah,
You're
they
right.
definitely look.
We
the
played
best.
good as fuck today, so I'm
I
expecting
got
them to come out
Miami.
tomorrow and
Optic
still
are
fry.
shit.
Yeah.
I think the problem with Optic, well, I think Optic looked really good, but the thing, and we'll get to Group B, is that because of the results there, might be Thieves winners round 1, and that's, you never know what happens in that situation.
I think
Yeah.
got a Mickey group.
Yeah.
Well, let's go over to Group B and take a look at what's happening here. So we had Team Orchid going up against Vancouver. Team Orchid, that's going to be the Challengers team. That's going to be Harry, Beans, Bance, Marky B, and Mythics. Marky B, obviously the coach there, going up against Vancouver. You guys all know Vancouver with Neptune, Abuza, Nasty, and 04 with Rambo behind them as the coach. And then on the other side, you had 100 Thieves going up against Gentlemates, and this one was a 3-0 finish here as well. I thought the Bulldog looked really good today. I think he was trying to do everything he could for the Gentlemates to try and win this series and maybe take some maps here. But again, just 100 Thieves, just too strong for him and able to take them out with a 3-0 there as well. But I kind of want to start with you, Ben, at the bottom with the 100 Thieves versus Gentlemates. I mean, I feel like, at least looking from the outside and seeing all the clips and stuff, Gotaga has been very vocal about his team and how shit they've been. Some people have criticized him for, kind of, laying into his players and roasting his players. But, obviously it's probably very frustrating to see your team lose. I know he also had some comments about Kismet, about, like, getting some, like, useless kills and stuff and, kind of making him seem like a kill whore a little bit. I mean, me personally, I didn't agree with it because I think Bulldog I think he's literally the heart of this team. Like, they need Kismet. Like, without Kismet, I mean, it's ultra compromised, right? But I want to get your guys' thoughts. I mean, Ben, what'd you think today of the Gentlemates versus 100 Thieves? Because 100 Thieves ran away with this one.
I mean, I think Gentlemates is always basically in a situation today in this tournament where people are just trying to attempt to play for some crazy deep run so they could theoretically kind of keep their spots. I think the comments about Kiz kill whoring just kind of crossed that line, right? I think as an owner, if you want to kind of criticize your team in general, or if you're kind of aligned with the coach staff and maybe some players, you want to call it a specific player, that's fine. But I think the Kiz shots, some of the shots at D-Real as well that him and his friends have done, I think kind of definitely crossed over the line for the internal finger point that probably is a result of how bad their team has been this year. I thought Kiz was everything. I thought Kiz was making plays today, but the problem is the rest of the team was just very subpar. And I think the last 2 maps in particular in this series were winnable for Gentlemates. So there's a world where they could have been up 2-1 going to map 4, and then you never know.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think Vancouver came and played well today, took care of business, looked kind of same form as champs. So I think Vancouver is definitely in the mix to make to the final of this event. I think for Thieves, I don't know, bro. Something just feels off about their team right now.
Hey, what do you think, Dylan? You think the Thieves are a little off right now? They're a little bit shaky? I mean, what do you think's going on? They looked a little frustrated today, too, especially with the whole GA thing with Dan.
That whole potentially snaking, stair glitching thing that happened with
It's not
Dan and
potential.
Neptune.
They were snaking.
No. Neptune put a video out. He proved it
Dirty
wrong.
rat.
He was not. No, Sam. Stop using your LAT bias. But yeah, LAT, I mean, they just don't look like the LAT we
What
saw
the
in
fuck
Major
you
3
talking
Major 4.
about? I shot him with the
They
fucking
literally almost
Olympia.
lost to General Mates as
Are
much as
you
Sam's gonna
fucking
try and cope
right?
and
Oh
say
my
that
god, come
they
on,
3-0'd
get
them.
past round
It was-
3.
Actually, you're right. That's on me, Sam. I shouldn't take personal attacks. But yeah, they won by 20 points a round and then another round, and they literally could have got 3-0'd, and then they just lost to Vancouver. Obviously, there was some drama, some good stuff to talk about, but they just did not look good. Like, it's not like the LAT we saw a couple majors ago. So I'm a little worried for them going into bracket, playing against Optic first round. But we'll see. They still have to win tomorrow versus General Mates at Orchid. So if General Mates makes it, it might be another mixy one. But I'm expecting LAT to be able to make it to bracket play at least.
Yeah, I mean, Sam, obviously these are your boys, Sam, and they come out with a victory here, Sam, but they do fall short to Vancouver in the next round and get bounced into that elimination match, well, actually a decider match. So they got to kind of wait for General Mates and Team Orchid to see kind of who their matchup is going to be there. But what do you think happened today with these? Like, how do you think they looked, Sam?
I think they look like shit.
Okay,
They got bailed out against LAG. They definitely should not, at least not a 3-0. It should have been an extended series. Kids was trying his heart out, but
Yeah.
I mean, against Vancouver, they've lost them twice now in their last 3 series, this was a team that I think they were 5-0 or 6-0 prior to champs. I mean, they're just, the fall off needs to be studied, man. It hurts to say, but I mean, the way that this team has looked, the way that Dan was talking about their practice leading up to champs or scrap,
That was bad.
today.
That was
Both of them
worrisome.
today
Well,
just
I don't
said that
understand that. I don't get
Bro,
that.
they were just saying their practice was shit. They
He
weren't
said
trying.
no. He said they weren't. He said they're trying harder now. Like, what do you mean you weren't trying your hardest for champs?
I give context. They chalked.
It was bad.
They skipped quite a few and chalked quite a few sets in the lead up to champs, and some of that was sponsor obligations, and some of that was some other BS. And I just think
What the
to the
fuck?
point, like, they were
Where
just
is
not as
this
confident as they needed to be going into
Listen,
that.
as a tournament favorite or a year favorite to win the majority of the tournaments that you show up to, that's just inexcusable. And I mean, the results are showing, bro. The way that this team played from major 3 and 4 to where they are now, it's not even fucking close. It's night and day. I mean,
Yeah.
Optic looks like the cleanest team right now. FaZe, obviously, we'll get to when we get to their pool. But again, this is the second time that Vancouver's beat them in the last 3 times that they played. So, or the last 3 series they've played. I mean, I'm not. If Thieves make it out of the pool, congrats, but I don't expect them to do anything the way that they're playing right now.
Yeah, no, also, we were talking about Dylan Envoy a little bit during the watch party. I feel like he's been
Right,
struggling a lot.
fucking
this week.
ridiculous.
I don't know what's really going on with him. Seems like he's just having a hard time just getting kills and getting in rhythm. Because we know Dylan, right? Like, he's got that pop-up potential. It's just not really, it's not hitting for him right now. Like, he's not figuring it out. But what do you think, Duarte? What do you think is going on with the Thieves? You see a roster change here? What do you guys think? There might be a roster change here.
It's like potentially if they have like another disappointing event where they don't go out in like the top 3 or even like potentially win, like these guys could definitely look at that because I think they just see the firepower in Scrap and Hydra and they really think they should have had a lot more success this year. But I will say that just like every game mode for this team has like fallen off. There was a point where their S&D was so good, and that's why they were elevated into winning those 2 tournaments. And then they're now at these last couple events, it's like even their controls fallen off, and they were one of the best, if not the best, control team the whole time. Like they had a close game with 5 Fears that was very winnable for them, and then they get lost to Vancouver in this control 3-0. So I mean, they're just not looking particularly strong in any game mode. You're having you're constantly in their losses. You're having one of Dan or Envoy particularly struggle. It's just I don't know. They just can't put it together, and I feel like a lot of people have caught on to their playstyle because I mean, dude, the way like Scrap and them talk about their game with their pace and stuff like that, you can tell that a lot of the time they try to like impose their will on the other team. And you know, a team like Surge, I feel like they're so ratty, they caught on to their playstyle a little bit, and I think that's why like Thieves is having a lot more trouble with them now, especially in those respawn game modes.
Yeah.
Because Surge is a ratty team.
Yeah, the way Surge plays has got to be so annoying to play against.
Yeah, like their ego, like in terms of like how they carry themselves and their confidence, I think it's transitioning into their gameplay, and like they're not like adapting. It's like they're trying to like play against a team that isn't, you know, gonna adjust when Surge is doing a really good job.
They're
of
just trying to
adjusting.
brute force their way through these
Yeah, they're
series,
brute forcing,
and it's
exactly.
It's not
Good call.
working. They're the end.
Good call,
It's
yeah.
the end of the year. These teams know the game in and out, and the way that Thieves is trying to play, they're just playing bully ball against teams that have completely caught up, and talent isn't the decider in these series anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We find ourselves in another situation where a player is talking about throwing GAs out the window. Is it compromised for the rest of the weekend? The rest of the weekend.
I hope
Is
so.
it compromised? The
Hope
rest of the
not.
weekend.
Where the fuck is
Do you
this
think we're just gonna
stuff?
see a bunch of snaking, bunch of bullshit for the rest of the
Listen,
weekend?
we've
We
seen a couple
might.
snakes today.
We did.
There was a fair amount of snakes today. That's all I'm saying. I know this is the one that we're talking about.
Well, apparently
but
this is a glitch, but it looked like Neptune got
There's
shot up
some.
back here. Did he die? It looked like he just died. He just died. He didn't even really do much, but I mean, clearly that bothered Dan and the boys. Maybe there was more going on. Is there something that I'm missing here, or is this the only thing? Because I didn't think this was that bad. But I don't know if I'm missing. I don't know if I'm
Let me
missing.
take a look.
I think it's just the intent of what he's doing. Like when you lay down backwards,
Yeah.
and look over something, it is a stair glitch. I know, like, obviously this
You
clip looks like
fucking
they're
kidding
down
me?
100
Fuck you,
points already as
somebody.
it is. Like, this isn't the reason that they lost the series or anything like that. But
Yeah.
I think it's just the intent of what he's doing is what Dan's mad at. And then there was like some X-ray shit. If you guys remember when people thought Dashy was snaking on Skyline,
Yeah.
there was some X-ray stuff on the broadcast today on Hacienda where it looked pretty bad, and then Neptune tweeted his POV and it really didn't look like that at all. So I think that Dan was right a little bit. You're
I'm
good.
not going to
It's also
completely defend
sideways.
Neptune because I feel like the pro players know exactly what they're doing with every single micro movement that they have. But there's going to be times in the game, especially with Omni movement, where like you're going to prone to look at like a door, for example, and then sometimes you're just going to turn around. And if that turns into something that is like a stair glitch or something, that's kind of unavoidable, man. At the end of the day, it's the game's fault for having some of those things in the game. But I mean, I think Neptune is smart enough to know that the intent of what he was doing. So I mean, I don't agree with that, but the snaking, he wasn't snaking, bro.
Yeah, I mean, that was the clip that Neptune posted, by the way. I know it's sideways, but I mean, he definitely didn't snake in that clip. But yeah, I guess the problem is the other clip, right, on the rewind. It's just the intent, which I guess pissed off Dan. But go ahead, Ben. What were you going to say?
What do you call it? You call it on the watch party. You said Dash, you call it X-ray cheese.
No, I'm saying that's what happened with Brandon. When everyone freaked out that he was snaking, then he tweeted his POV or JP did, and it just like didn't look like that at all. Like whereas on that, when you watch someone do it on the X-ray, it looks like they're snaking crazy.
Yeah.
But their
just-
POV doesn't look like that.
We saw this a bit. We saw this a bit at EWC last year too. I just think because there's no repercussions, right? Like you're not gonna no scrims after this. You're not gonna roll scrims over to next season. I just think once you get to the
Are
town, this
you
tournament, people see an
grinded?
opportunity to double pump.
I'm a fucking Brandon moron.
Dude,
They
that,
see an
yeah.
opportunity to
Actually,
lay backwards.
turn
and
around,
choose
turn
an
around.
angle.
I still don't understand though how like this is ever an argument. When you snake, if you see the arm, the player's arm in like the first person camera move to the left, and then when you stand up, that is a snake. But if you don't see that arm physically like pull off of the gun to prone, like he didn't throw a snake, he just crouched. Like it's not hard to spot.
We have an elimination match tomorrow with Genomates and Team Orchid. Anybody have Team Orchid getting an upset here over Genomates? I mean, Genomates has been at the bottom of the league all year, so if the Challengers team is going to come in and beat somebody, it could be here. I mean, I could see it.
Could be.
I mean, I can give you some insight on Orchid because we didn't really touch on them at all.
Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
Their only chance in this surge was a Neslo. Like this is a team that is very good at surge, typically, even in challengers. Like, I mean, I talk to us all the time. He's lost this team a couple times, and it's always off of like S&Ds. So they're a Neslo heavy team, S&D heavy team. So when I saw them win that surge, I'm like, oh, we'll see if they can steal respawn. But ultimately, it didn't matter, and Surge got it done in the respawn. So if it's gonna come, it's definitely gonna come in Surge.
Yeah.
LAG's actually looked not too bad in control, and I think it's been LAG one of the worst.
We didn't really touch on Gentlemates because I know like Thieves and Surge are the stars of the show here, but I wanted to tip obviously Kismet for his performance today. I think he's given the league a little silent reminder of what he's capable of, and it's kind of criminal that, I mean, at the end of the day, his performance in MW3 for most of the year is probably why he ended up in the situation that he's in. But like the way that I still think that kid is like really good, and if he had the right people around him, like he would succeed a lot more. And then also, I don't know what it was, but Lunars played great today. Like Lunars actually was doing his thing, and I was kind of surprised because I think prior to this, when we talked about Gentlemates and their old roster, we were like, where the fuck is Lunars? Like people hyped him up, and that whole time, his whole stint in the league, he was basically non-existent. But today, he played pretty good. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what it is about their team dynamic, or maybe he just figured it out. But it was cool to see that from him.
Yeah, maybe he's just getting more reps. And he's just getting more comfortable as time goes on. Because Diamond Con looked uncomfortable.
Are you
today.
telling me that
He's
Stu
obviously
didn't
just kind of
reload?
got thrown in there. Maybe it was a reps thing. Like obviously Diamond Con's been in challengers all year, but
Yeah.
he looked a little uncomfortable to me today. Because I know Diamond Con. Connor's a good player. So like today he didn't look like himself today. But any other thoughts on Group A or Group B before we move on to the next?
Absolutely not.
This is always chalky. I think it's always going to be good.
All right, then we go over to Group C, and this group got interesting. I do want to talk about Movie Star Koi, which is also known as Toronto Ultra. Their team name has changed. I thought it was just going to be Koi. Like, Toronto Koi. I didn't know it was gonna have like movie star Koi, like all it is.
Well, movie stars have big sponsors for them.
Yeah, they're a title sponsor.
Okay, so that makes sense. But they come in and they pick up a player called Abe, who we actually, I mean, bro, we've known Abe for years. I mean, we found Abe. I mean, I know Val's is in the chat, but we do the Zoom Out This Subscriber 8 challenges. And I mean, Abe, he was a couple years ago, he was frying in those challenges. And, that's kind of how we got him on the stallions to begin with in the beginning of the year. And to see him doing what he's doing now with Koi is unbelievable. Obviously, you have Insight, Joe Seas, and Kleenex. Abe is joining that team. Abe is kind of like that aggressive sub player to kind of play alongside Joe, and Kleenex is moved more to a flex role. And in my opinion, I actually think Kleenex is really good on a flex role. I like him on a flex. I feel like he's really good with both guns. I think he enjoys using an AR. You can tell he's confident with it, and he plays at a fast pace at the flex role. I like having a fast flex player.
They need it with the way Jamie plays, or Jamie has played.
Yeah, and even the way Abe and Joe play, right? They're so quick, like you gotta have to keep up with them and kind of be right behind them. So I just really like the dynamic between the two subs, and then you have Kleenex kind of sliding into that flex, and then Insight just kind of overseeing the whole foundation of it. And in my opinion, it looks good, especially with Abe and Joe. Like they're all over the map. Abe played great today, and this is his first time on the big stage, like playing against pro teams. And he's definitely showing out. I'm proud of him because he's going nuts right now. And they come out today. They 3-1 the Falcons, and then they 3-0 to Boston Breach. So they obviously advanced to Saturday, and they've already qualified. But what did you guys think of the new look to Koi? I actually think they look a lot better. Just their pacing looks better. They look like they're meshing a lot better. Their chemistry's a lot better. What do you think, Sam? We'll start with you on this one. What are your thoughts?
I like Toby on the flex. It's not as like crazy, I think, as people made it out to be, because he has been the one that's using an AR for them a lot on maps like the red cards and the vaults and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think it's not that drastic of a change for him, at least for this season, but I love the Abe pickup. I think Abe is disgusting, and I think that the pacing, at least what you said and even what Joe said today in his interview, he just thinks that the way that they're playing the game is the right way right now. They think that they fixed a lot of their problems in search. Granted, they said that they didn't, get a great job of showcasing it today, but he feels as though they've become a better search team, which is always good. And I mean, I had them coming out of this pool with relative ease, and they dropped one map today. So I think from what we've seen so far, the roster change seems to have worked.
Yeah, somebody said Encourage must be pissed for quitting. He should have never quit, bro. There was so much hype around all those players, even Lurks. Like, I'm waiting for Lurks to get picked up now. I'm waiting for that whole entire team to get picked up.
Tom, you got an eye for talent, Tom.
I mean, hey, Val's helped me out a lot too with that team. I mean, a lot of these guys, we just like the subscriber rates challenges, like they're just frying in these challenges, and that's kind of like where we find these guys. But I really do feel like all those players on that team in the beginning of the year, like with the right work ethic, could get themselves into the league, and half of them already are. So it's cool. It's just cool to see how far they've come from subscriber rates to being in the CDL and playing at the Esports World Cup. It's fire. It's cool to see. But Gil, let's go to you. Obviously, Koi, they look good. You can give your thoughts on Koi, but also the Boston Breach. They get 3-0 by Koi. They do get through Team War. For those of you that don't know Team War, they come from Challengers. That's Two Real, Assault, Bink, and Neum. Neum, another one who plays in the subscriber rates challenges. It was cool to see him out there trying to do his thing, but they did get bounced by Boston. Dil, I know you got a lot of positive things to say about Purge and Boston. I mean, they look good. I mean, they fell short 3-0 to Koi, but I feel like with Boston, like if they're on, right? Like especially Purge. Like if he's feeling himself and they're playing around Purge and they're on point, like you just never know what Boston's gonna bring. What
The issue is they just can't win a damn hardpoint. I mean, they got embarrassed on probably their best hardpoint map, or top 2 hardpoint map for them, by the challenger team, Team War. So if Purge doesn't drop 40 or Snoopy doesn't drop 40 or someone just have a monumental map, they're not going to win the hardpoint. They have to be one of the worst hardpoint teams that's as a professional team. They won 1 hardpoint at champs. They struggled against the challenger team here today. So that's the thing. That's the reason why I didn't have them making it out of bracket. Because I just don't know what I'm going to get. I feel like Boston plays up to their competition. When they play LAT, they play Surge, different type of energy. They're playing really well. But then when they play like the lesser teams, they kind of just fall down to who they're playing. They play down to their level, and they just don't look that good. So tomorrow, I don't know who's going to win between Falcons and War and Breach, but it's a toss-up between the two, because I think even Falcons was pretty sloppy today. I expected a lot more of them in that Toronto series, but they just look like they were on completely different pages.
Yeah, Benji, what'd you think? I mean, Falcons fall short to Koi. Boston beat Team War, but then fall short to Koi, so Koi advances. You have Team Falcons going up against Team War in an elimination match tomorrow. I mean, what do you think of the group, Ben?
I think they'll hit the like on point with Boston. I just think their hard point limitation is potentially problematic for them tomorrow. I think it's still kind of Neslo and find a way to get out of this group, but I just don't know. The stars are gonna have to align for them to get another crazy run like they did at Champs. I think for Falcons.
Yeah, I'm pulling up their stats right now. And
I mean,
Benjay, what is going on here, Benjay? What?
I think for Falcons today.
Hey,
They've always been
it's
kind
not
of
good, man.
momentous.
they could have gave me a free trip to Saudi. I'm putting up at least 50.
It's just really, it's really tough. I mean, they just picked up Tej, and he really need to have a good event to keep his spot on this team. And Tavis on a great debut. And I've not felt like Alec has been a good fit in this team at all from the start. They played a pretty nice red card. I will give them that. The red card S&D was very, very was quality for them in the series. But I just don't know how they don't win respawns unless they just fucking get going and like.
They've been pretty decent at search this whole for some reason. I remember when they first made this team, we were like, oh, they're gonna be a hardpoint team, but they've actually got pretty decent at search where they've like stole a couple or almost got close to Nesloing team, which is crazy. I don't want to cut you completely off, Ben. So if you got any more points to finish, you can go ahead before I give my take.
I just think like they've been a good red card S&D team. They've clutched a couple game flags on red card S&D during the last couple splits. I just don't know. Man, with them and Boston, I just don't know. I think Boston might be able to grip that one in game 5, but Falcons needs the new pickup Tej to play better, and they need Alec to put together a good series tomorrow. They'll have a completely new lineup next time this year.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was gonna cut to the chase, bro. This is like their current roster is just temporary because of the EWC rules. Like even if Tej did play good and he managed to keep his spot, like Alec is gone, bro. Like
That's a crazy tweet from the coach.
That is a crazy tweet.
We said it before, bro. They're AR.
Hold on, that may not have been about their team though, because they had a lot of delays in this series. Clay may be talking about like how long that series took.
I mean, it did not. But who cares about the delay? The way they played, like it don't matter if there's a delay or not
Bro,
tomorrow. Like it's just not good enough.
They're cooked, bro. Like Alec is off this team. We said it before. Their AR duo is complete ass. They got rid of one, and they couldn't get rid of the other because of the EWC rules. They put a band-aid on their team temporarily, but they're gonna rip that band-aid off as soon as they get home because I think Pred and Xnid, especially with the talent that he has, they just have way higher expectations of like where they want to be in the CDL, and especially with the Falcons' money and you know how those guys love to invest in talent. Like, bro, this is a temporary solution, bro. They're fucked.
Yeah.
They could go in all. We'll talk a lot about them during roster man. They can go in a lot of different directions, but I mean, it might be chalk tomorrow. Boston's weak in hard points, so game 5, both red card S&D, maybe Falcons win and get out of the bracket.
Yeah, I didn't get to say anything about KOI or Boston, but I think this Boston team also is going to need to change. Like, I like their S&D for the most part. For most of the season, it's been pretty good. Like, Snoopy's been an amazing S&D player, but if Purge or like Cammy or Wake is just randomly having an insane pop-off game, they're cooked. And I think Cammy's just been the outlier. I've seen Cammy have a lot of like 0.5s, 0.6s and in respawn. I think he's just getting shit on. But I still don't know, even if they just pick up a quote-unquote more talented player, if their respawn's going to be fixed. So but on the Ultra front, I did like the Kleenex, the Flex. He looked really good on it. I wasn't sure how that was going to impact their game, but Abe did step up to the plate, especially against Boston when he needed to. He fried in that series. So, you know, they piqued my interest. I'm curious to see how they develop, and I'm happy Abe got a shot. But we'll see how they do against the tougher competition.
Yeah. Anybody else got anything to say about the group? Did I get to Sam? Did you give your thoughts yet on the
Yeah, I
group?
just talked about Toronto. I mean, I didn't really mention much on Boston, but I expected regression to the mean for them. I mean, I know they got a better chance and, you know, deserved gas for that, but I mean,
It was off Neslo's every time.
Yeah,
bro.
exactly, bro. That's not a consistent way to win series. So
We
I
do
mean,
have two real.
They're gonna lose their best players unless this Boston squad changes hands and keep a couple like their team's getting poached in this fight.
Yeah, well, I think Snoopy might be a free agent because I know he's been on Boston for a while now. So
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah,
see.
I do want to mention Team War is going to be going up against Team Falcons. Again, that's kind of like the elimination match. You got two real Salt, Big, and Neum going up against the Falcons, right? X-Day, TJ, RC's, and Pred with Clay behind them. Coaching is there a way where a challenger team can maybe take down the Falcons here? I could see it too. I could see Team War maybe making an upset here. I mean, bro, at this point, I mean, these challenger teams are playing the bottom CDL teams, right? So it's like if they show up to play and bring the energy, I mean, anything can happen in a day of COD.
Yeah, I can see it.
But I agree, right? Like after EWC, I think like probably 11 teams are blowing the fuck up.
Yeah.
Most likely.
If Thieves don't win, I think FaZe will talk about in a second. If Thieves don't win, I think it's a.
I think Thieves is gonna get a FaZe player no matter what happens.
We'll have plenty of time to talk about that.
When it comes to the challenger teams, I just think it sucks how they drew out. The teams that got the easiest pulls were the two teams that had to make roster changes, while all the other challenger teams that were like more put together, they got into harder pools. So it's kind of
That's what I feel bad.
Yeah,
I
but
kind of
the
wish
hard-
that
the
Omit
hard-
was somewhere else.
The hard pull is a result of last year was like Toronto
Oh,
not
fuck, I
getting
thought I
good
had monkeys,
placing.
bro.
It's FaZe
Fuck,
getting good
I
placing,
wouldn't
not getting
do
good
that.
placing this year. It's like these
I don't know.
top teams
I don't know how they do the
disappointing.
groups. Like, I'm just gonna put it out there. If Omit is in that pool, I promise you they get out of that pool. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. We'll see, yeah.
They actually would get
Omit
out.
did
They
get a
actually
tough
would.
It
draw.
was just
They
based
got a
off
really
the chance
tough draw.
placings. That's why like LAT and FaZe got into like weird situations. Then Omit got the shit end of the stick because they won Challenger champs and had the first seed, but then they got to play FaZe and Miami, which is two solid teams.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
let's be honest. FaZe should have lost today against Omit. They should have lost. FaZe
Yeah.
played
Yeah, they should've.
FaZe played terrible today. Their mini map is horrible right now. Like, seeing them just leaving lanes open and just like not pushing out the right shit, and just they're also on different pages. Like, I'm seeing people run backwards while people are running forward, right? Like it doesn't seem like they're calming with each other. FaZe needs to clean it up, or they're gonna get bounced tomorrow. Like they
Hey,
have.
dude, this
They
has
should have
been a
lost
theme
today.
with-
They were up 5-2
Their-
in the last map.
Their
and they
hard
choked it.
point, time for the last couple years has been absolute ass. And the only time they've ever had like good events in hardpoint is where like Sim, for example, is dropping like insane numbers and he just like goes off, and it's just not a consistent thing. Like Simp is a superstar player, but at the same time, like that's just not realistic. Their hardpoint has failed to improve title to title, and I don't know if that's like a coaching thing or if that's just the chemistry between the team or like a player thing, but like they just failed to work on it, and I don't know why they can't identify these issues being the team that they are. But it's just hardpoint, bro. They're not good at it. They haven't been good at it for a long time.
They went 2-2 a hard point in both these matches, though. But like,
I
think
know,
their-
but I'm
I
saying
think
like
their control is the one thing that's completely fallen off the cliff, and that's the biggest example of what Tom's talking about. Where they
yeah.
I agree with you. Their hard point like is very.
I'm just talking
up
about
and down.
overall on the year, like everywhere. You know what I mean?
But not today. Today, I think it was the control was an issue. They clutched up a crazy Game 5 comeback. Rest in D's really struggled. I just think they have teamed too long together. I think they're all on different pages on how they want to play. I think they faked it till they made it, and got some really good energy this year off of the December run to try and improve, and they got those two events. They got some really good energy last year off of champs to kind of get that. But I just think the team's run its course. It is what it is. They've been together too long. They just aren't on the same page on how they want to play, and they just need to kind of go somewhat separate ways with the squad.
Well, we talked about it during the watch party, and the chat's talking about it right now. The comms, the communication. Clearly, there's a communication issue. I mean, you could tell just by looking at the mini map. Like, I don't think they're small talking very well. And maybe I'm wrong. And if they are small talking, they're not
You're
listening.
not wrong, Tom.
Because you could tell by
Today-
looking at the mini map that they're not talking to each other. There's something going on.
Today on a P1 rotation, on Skyline, they got 3-piece by a guy that hit them. After the other team went 3 dead. So I don't know what to tell you. Like that is plays that happen in fucking December. You know what I'm saying? Like they just, I think communication's always been an issue, but it was apparent today on some like day one mistakes that they were making that either cost them maps or made maps a lot more difficult to win.
I think it's even worse in this game. This game plays so fast paced that if your communication isn't like really good to the point, like you're just gonna leave like so many random timings open, and it just bites them in the ass. And their communication, we've said it before, like it's worked for them in the past and it's gotten them a lot of success, but like ultimately I don't think it's ever been the most efficient in the league, and they just get away with it because their talent's been so high in comparison to every other league, or everybody in the league. But I feel like it's getting to the point where that's all those little issues that they failed to realize they had in the past or couldn't fix, it's starting to bite them in the ass a lot more than it used to, and they got to figure it the fuck out or blow it the fuck up.
I mean, I think it's gonna get blown up anyway. I think the biggest offender of the transition is MC. He's got to, in the off season, work on just getting clearer, more concise comms to his teams, and also I think he struggles to verbalize the thoughts that are in his head if you're kind of watching and listening. I think it's him not really small talking enough to direct what he wants to do on the map. I think really hurts them.
Yeah, I mean, listen, bro. FaZe, they need to lock in, bro. They need to lock in. They do not look good. Like, they were lucky to get that win today. I mean, I was fucking shocked when they got that win today. I was going nuts. But I do want to give some credit to Omid. But they are a great team, and I want to show some love to Craze. Obviously, for those of you that don't know Omid, it's a team of Mac, Vivid, Craze, and Mamba. I just really want to show some love to Craze because this guy is a playmaker, bro. Like he'll get in your face, like he'll take those routes, like he'll make plays, and he's not afraid to chow. Like he plays really confident. He plays with a lot of confidence, a lot of aggression, and I think it helps everybody else around him. And then on top of that, they're a good team. I think Mamba brings a lot to the team. I think he's another one in Challengers who's been showing out and playing really well all year. And to see him doing the same thing on land, like these guys can obviously play. I mean, they're playing, obviously Atlanta FaZe. Like, this is not an easy team to get by, considering, Atlanta FaZe is obviously playing bad. But, you also got to give credit to Omid because they're forcing those mistakes, right? Because they're playing well. So I want to give credit to Rafi because I think he's been doing a great job. With the I'm serious. Because he's been doing a great job in Challengers.
He's been running those circles.
He's seriously he's running circles. He's always making teams. He's always helping players. And I know there's been drama with him and Exceed and different shit. But listen, bro, like Rafi's giving an opportunity for players to sign a contract, get paid a little bit, and get funded out here. And Rafi's been investing a lot into the space. So to see his team at EWC like competing with a team like FaZe. Is awesome to see, right? I mean, it's all the work that Rafi's been putting in is paying off. So, hopefully next season we can get the Stallions there, right next to you, Rafi. With Omid just like last season. But it's cool to see Rafi doing his fucking thing with the Omid boys because they look good today. I thought they should have won.
I'll say this, Tom. I think it's clear the last couple of years with Omid that like if there are new organizations coming in. Or people buying spots, and especially orgs that aren't NA based, and we don't have many people NA. They talking to Rafi, his crew, the coaching staff, like they've got a lot of experience, and they've been very steady the last couple of years, and they could be a really good option from an ops standpoint if someone's trying to like clean house and bring something new, because they consistently, to your point, like found talent and teams in that position. That's going to build a super team off the rip. They need to identify Challengers players and build around it.
I mean, bro, look at this year. I mean, Merc and Aver, like the perfect example. Like, bro, one change on a team can make such a big difference, especially if the guy is really good, right? Like, it just changes the whole dynamic of a team, especially if the roles are right. Like, look at what Merc has done in the optic. I even see it a little bit with KOI right now. Is it KOI or Koi? Duarte said KOI. But
I don't know. I just say shit, man.
But even with Koi, you're an idiot.
I don't know, dude.
Even with Koi, I noticed just such a big difference with just like the way that they're moving around the map. So it's crazy to me how much one player can really change things.
Bro, with these roster changes, my bad to cut you off, Tom, but with these roster changes when it comes to challenger players, unless you're brain dead and picking up people out of left field, half of the time these challenger players you have to understand, bro. A lot of people genuinely think the challenger, like you'll talk to people, especially pros, and they'll think the challenger players are genuinely less talented. No, they shoot just fine. They move just fine. They just have to be in an environment with more teamwork to progress themselves as a player. And more often than not, if you give some of these shooters in challengers a platform to be on a stable team and not just some throw together, your team as a pro team is either going to get better or stay the same. You're not going to get worse. Most of the time, you're making these changes because you're not good. So there's no point in not taking these risks. I'm going to echo what Pat says, because Pat literally says it all the time, but it's always the teams that make the first set of changes, bro, that benefit the most. The teams that are not scared to literally drop somebody because they're comfortable with them or because they're afraid to take a risk, they reap the rewards every single time. And I don't understand why it doesn't happen more every single year. And instead, people wait until it's fucking way too late. They put these challenger players on bad fucking teams when they're already chalked, and they just don't go anywhere.
Yeah. Unless you're optic left into this.
I mean, Pat. I mean, that's what Pat would be. Pat would be tripping about this, right? Pat always says like you got to make your changes quick, right, before it's too late. What were you gonna say, Sam? Were you gonna say something? My bad.
Oh, Ben just said
the optic example?
was the only example.
Well,
What do you mean by that?
they're the rare example where like they waited a while. They brought in Caesar because that was really the only move they had that didn't work out, and then the Merc thing just kind of a little bit.
They realistically got lucky. Like Merc Merc was gassed a lot, but I just don't think a lot of people saw it in them. And the only reason like he got on a top, because I think Merc would have been in the league regardless. I just don't think he would have got an Optic or a top team right away if it wasn't for that Toronto event. I think he would have gotten in the league regardless. But that Toronto event, like,
team, maybe.
yeah, that Toronto event
he
is
didn't have
what
the natural
essentially.
progression of a challengers player.
Yeah,
Kinda
exactly.
skyrocketed immediately. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I do want to go to the end of this Skyline Hardpoint because FaZe does fall short to Miami 3-1, but almost goes to a last map as FaZe made an incredible comeback. I mean, it was looking like a 3-1 easily for Miami, and then FaZe just kicked up out of nowhere towards the later half of the game. And we get to the end of the game here, and you know, we were talking about this during the watch party. We were getting a few opinions about it, but we can see as it rotates over to this last P3 over here, going to this kitchen hill, right? FaZe has to do a good job killing the guy, working the guy P1, and kind of working mid-map, because they ripped this guy out of P1, and BZ gets the kill. And then as we kind of let it play out here, they work a good pinch, they get the kills, they have a 3 dead, 1 guy's left, and it's kind of what happens next that we were confused about. Now, some people were saying a BZ should have never pushed this. By him pushing Closet, he's flipping them out piano, and it's causing a bunch of flips, and it's causing a bunch of problems. I actually thought that a BZ pushing this, I thought it was pretty obvious that they were spawning piano, but for some reason, none of them were turning, which is where I started bringing up communication problems. I was like, dude, are they not communicating? Because like the split here piano is just so obvious, especially when
they didn't comment.
And they're just not turning. They're just not turning. Like
Is the pinch of their player?
well, I mean, that's what I wanted to ask you guys, right? Like, would you have
no,
pinched? Was it a communication problem? Was it a little bit of both, right? Like,
They just okay, they're under the impression that they all spawn grass like right in front of them. That's why you don't see any of them like scared to peek it. They're all still looking at grass. But as soon as number 3 got to bottom bed, it split them piano, and they just didn't think they'd spawn there. So I think if they would have known concrete where the spawn was, they would have like made the play. But I just think they got confused. I don't think that's a bad play at all.
Wait, I think for the moment in the game, this is a horrible play.
It's a really bad play. They should just let them all spawn
If this
stone.
is just like a normal P3 and you're just like a 50 to 50
I mean, it
game,
is
this
early.
fine.
It is early in
Bro,
the hill.
you need-
A BZ
you
could
need
just literally
Oh
go
wait,
to the P1.
You need 9 seconds to lose the game.
My fault. My fault.
That's-
I wasn't looking. Remember, this is one of the series that I missed because I was taking a nap.
There's an
But
I
I was not looking at the score. I'm not gonna lie. I
Score-
tunneled on the mini map.
Score permitting, this is a terrible play.
Yeah. No, 100%. I just realized I needed 9, but my fault.
Yeah, if it wasn't the end of the game and this is just like, the first P3, then this is fine. You're playing for spawns, flip them out, whatever. But at the state of the game, you're making the map as random and chaotic as possible for no reason. You need 10 seconds to win the game.
Yeah. They should have just made them all spawn in one little box
Like,
and
why
tried
is
to win.
it pitching? You need literally 10
Yeah.
seconds. You're just
No,
doing too much.
you're 100% right. I didn't look at the
the
scoreboard.
only
I'm
time
dumb.
I feel like if he waits for them to spawn and then does it, it's different, right? Like him.
You're still doing too much. You need 2 kills and you win the game.
Yeah, like he could just.
I mean, this literally Miami's last push. If they get one more wave, it's over. The only thing that should happen there is if you are going to push this and block a spawn, you need to be like, yo, spawn's blocked, turn the fuck around. Because they're all 4 looking at grass. But in reality, to keep it as simple as possible, just Abe go to P1, they all spawn stone, and then you have everything. You have the front, you have top mid, you have bottom bed, GG. But they made the game random. Yeah, just anywhere until
That's
they
all.
spawned up. Because even if they spawn up, then you shall, it's still not the end of the world. But when you spawn them in random places, that's when the communication that's gonna have to come in and save you. And clearly, they didn't do that either. So
I'm Chris. I'm tweaking, bro. Oh my God, Tommy, your reaction.
Bro, because the whole map, everybody was
Jamie
saying
just lost his gunfight on
Hey,
invasion.
the whole entire map, everybody was saying it's chalk, the chalk is chalk. And I kept saying it's never chalk. FaZe is gonna kick up last second. You never know, right? And in my head, I was like, yeah, it's probably chalk, but it's still possible. And then they were actually doing it, and I was like, holy, like they're actually doing this shit. Like we're about to go to a last map. And then yeah, the way that it kind of fell through at the end, bro. I mean, bro, it was very hectic and chaotic at the end. I mean, originally, bro, I'm pretty sure even I was like, pinch, I'm easy. Like I was even yelling at him, the pinch, and then that was the wrong play. Like looking back at it, like yeah, like they should have just chilled after the 3 dead and just funneled them to one side, and it's just like easy pickings, right? Like hold the crossfire and you're good.
That's such an underrated thing that I don't even know a lot of viewers pick up on. There's just times in the games where even though like you want to flip a spawn or like make the perfect play, it's better to like make them just spawn in a like a spot together so there's no random variance and force them to make the mistake rather than you forcing the issue. And like that was one of those times. I'm just looking at the score.
Yeah, so obviously, FaZe, they fall short. could have went to a last map, but Miami did a good job. Miami almost choked it, but they clutched up, they iced up, they got the job done. Miami advances. FaZe goes to the decider match. They're just gonna wait for the winner of Omit and P7 Esports, which, in my opinion, probably Omit. P7 Esports is gonna be Standy, Brack, Prolu, and Yuli. You got Major Maniac and
Yeah, so it's Omit versus Omit here. I will say in challengers, Omit, Brooklyn is typically that team that's getting like top 2, top 3, but they just can't beat like the actual Omit team. Like I'm pretty sure the grand finals for challengers champs was a wash. And it's typically been like that for the most part. So I don't think they're gonna win that series. I think it's gonna be Omit again.
And listen, FaZe versus Omit. I mean, after today, I just don't know what's gonna happen with that. I mean, I do have FaZe making it out. I think FaZe gonna come out and be better tomorrow, but I just don't know, right? Like you never know with these tournaments and like who's gonna show up and what's gonna happen. What do you guys think? You think you guys have FaZe making it out, or you guys see an upset here tomorrow? What do you think?
I just think
I view it the same way as Thieves. Even if they do, I don't. You know, the way that they've been playing so far and how they played at champs, I just don't really have faith in them to make a deep run in this tournament.
Yeah.
I don't think their gameplay is going to get infinitely better. I think if they make it deep in this tournament, it's just going to be a lot of gritty maps and gritty wins. Their S&D looked like a little bit better the last 2 search maps they played today, so put that to carry, but I just think it's going to be another 3-2 win, I think.
Also, we didn't really touch on Heretics, but I wanted to give some gas to Metals, man, because he's like always that guy that we kind of look at under the microscope, and you know, when he's playing bad, we criticize him a lot, but like sometimes when he does play good, we don't give him enough love. I think if he's playing like this, you know, they're gonna make another run because he's always that X factor for them, and he played really good against FaZe. I think he typically plays really good against FaZe, and I don't know why. But yeah, he had a good series.
Take a look at the tweet coming in from Real. Real tweeted after the game today. He said people would rather play for a positive KD than for the win. What do you think he's talking about, guys?
As if I used to play already. What a fucking terrible zombie fire.
Yeah, a lot of shit talk. A lot of shit talk, a lot of body shots. Yeah, I will say, Miami has looked really good all year. I mean,
they got FaZe's number too.
Yeah, I think people are just waiting. At least for me, I'm just waiting to see Miami take that next step and win. Right, like
or get to a final, like
yeah,
just they have not got to one
and win, and I think they have what it takes to do it. I really do. I just think they have to put it all together. So you know, only time will tell if they're able to get it done. But definitely some chirps after the series from the Miami boys. But I agree, Chris. Miami looked great.
If you go to DM, I linked you with the bracket. Looks like there's a CDO Intel tweet. You can pull this up because I think for Miami, if they make it to a final this one, they're going to have eliminated like quite a few good teams. In order to get there, they're going to have to have beaten, you know, one of the whoever the second place team is from Group C. So what that's like the Toronto, it's probably Boston, that situation. And they're probably play to opposite D. So you do that, you've probably eliminated like a team that's won one of the last 3 events, and then you feel pretty good going into maybe Vancouver or Toronto or FaZe on the other side.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, I feel like at this point, like, you just don't know. I will say, though, Optic, again, just looked like the strongest team to me, but we'll see. You know, we'll see how it plays out tomorrow and how it plays out throughout the weekend. But do you guys have any other final thoughts from today? As a whole, it was a long day, guys, so I don't want to keep it too long. But any other final thoughts?
They need to get Sim out the hill.
What'd you say, Sam?
I said Thieves are out there getting top 8.
Yeah, which is crazy. Probably.
Yep.
I mean,
and get Simp off the hill.
Yeah, Simp had 2 minutes. Please let Chris Lair roam and slay. Simp should not be in the hill. No one else get in the hill for Simp.
I don't think it's going to change, bro.
They need to communicate.
Well, it's too late to change now, but that's what should happen.
I think that's a roster meeting problem.
Yeah, which, guys, I mean, listen, after EWC, expect a lot of roster mania episodes. I feel like shit's about to go down.
That's crazy to think about, bro. The trio potentially not being the trio anymore is actually crazy to me.
It's not.
It's for what, 5 years?
It's rare,
yeah.
When do you see, like, it's rare you see a team together for, like, 6 years. That's just,
they have to be the longest tenured team, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever happened before.
Yeah.
God, yeah, I mean, League of Legends, you got some ones that have gone to distance and some instances.
Hey, we want to stick us out with a putt? Absolutely. Yeah, go grab it real quick, bro. Go grab it. See what's going on.
What's the schedule like for tomorrow?
I think it starts at 7 a.m. Pacific.
Yeah, but like, do we have like a schedule for matches? 'Cause we didn't even talk about the matches for the next day, or do you not want
We
to?
did
Starts
pull
at
it
10
up.
tomorrow Eastern.
Oh, did you? I'm sorry, I looked away.
It was this. I mean, there's a shit ton of matches. I mean,
There it is.
Are
Not at
you
your time,
fucking
Chris.
kidding me?
we
Why
kinda,
am
when
I
we
so
were going through
brain
groups,
dead?
We already kind of talked about the
Fuck,
matchups. and,
I'm a
like,
retard.
the
There's only
elimination
5
matches,
fucking
who we think's
zombies
gonna
left,
win.
too.
I mean, for the most part, we don't really have like challenger teams making it out. We have Omid against P7. We got Omid winning that one. We had
starts
Gentlemen.
later
We had
tomorrow.
G2 against
Yeah, there's only 4
Fears.
slots.
Yeah, we start at 7 a.m. 7 a.m. Pacific time, 10 a.m. Eastern. So, you know, we get a few more hours tomorrow because I was up at 3 a.m. today, which is really weird for me. Super early.
Dude, I'm actually
might as
so
well go
chalk,
24,
Tom.
Tom.
I'm trying to figure out. What kind of schedule I want to do. Like, do I want to like stay up a little, couple more hours, and go to bed like at like 1?
Go to bed, bro. Go
Or
to
do I
bed.
want to go to
You gotta
bed? Or
share
do I
your
want?
brother.
No,
Or do I want
go
to?
to bed.
Or do
brother.
I
There's
want
too
to
many
sleep
matches.
now? No, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't know.
Like go to sleep now and wake up, stream a little bit. You're saying, and then
Yeah, like I'm trying to figure out my schedule, bro, because this is not ideal.
yeah.
Tom, can you fix a crop on my cam so you guys can see the ball going?
Absolutely.
Wait,
Benji.
that's actually a
you.
big thing though. Shout out to all the fans because I feel like we're experiencing it now for one of the few times it does happen. Shout out to all the fans around the world that watch the CDL, that they stay up all night, messing up their sleep schedules, watching these matches late. Because now we're getting a taste of it, and it's tough.
Yeah,
So,
it is tough.
Shout out to
Sorry.
them for being dedicated.
Yeah, for sure. The passion's there, and Benji sinks the pod nice and easy here on day one of the Esports World Cup. I mean, overall, guys, thoughts before we head out. Thoughts on the Esports World Cup, the production. I mean, the delays suck, but the stage looks sick. I think the overall.
Cool.
I think as always with EWC, Tom, the stage and the venue experience is good. I think one of the problems is kind of clear if you watch the broadcast. It seems like a lot of people that run the broadcast is a lot of like people that do CS. Like you can kind of tell with the way they talk. Like the way that the show runs is very similar to the ESL CS show, and I think they miss a lot that we get from COD. They don't talk about stats on broadcast. They don't talk about the history on broadcast. The interviews are a little bit awkward. And then from the Codcaster side, it seems like they're really sticking to this light blue and gold kind of color scheme.
Yeah, they gotta change that. They gotta change.
Yeah, it's bad.
There's 2 problems with it. One is when they get a blue and a gold scheme, they're not properly assigned the colors. And the second problem is in control of the light blue is impossible to fix it. So I kind of asked around. I don't really know if the color thing is going to change, or maybe they can do a couple things with contrast to help it out. But
Yeah,
it's the same
I mean,
issue last year.
I mean, listen, bro. I mean, they definitely gotta fix the delays. I think the delays will help. You know, I'm sure they're doing the best they can, but they gotta try and find something. Find a
But Tom, you
solution.
got to think. Even the listen-ins, Tom. We're hearing both teams in the listen-ins.
Yeah, the
They're not-
listen-ins,
and the
too.
mic, it sounds like they're talking to their PS5 controller mic or something. Like it doesn't sound good at all. So
Yeah, the
and
listen-ins were a
they
problem.
zoom in on every player's face. I can count every pimple on someone's face, every hair, every pore, all the
I know what
greasy
shots he
faces.
had for breakfast, bro. I can
Literally,
see his
I'm seeing nose hairs on stream. Like, bro, we are seeing. I know everything about every player now.
Yeah, no, it's actually crazy. They're
think
they're doing players dirty by zooming in that close, bro.
Yeah, I think the problem, Dill, is that what it sounds like to me. So, like when you guys normally do listen-ins in the CDL,
That's it. I
don't
gotta
hop in the
go.
TeamSpeak server and grabbing it direct there.